Hi, good evening, everybody. We are at the Lily's Table Tennis Center right here in New Jersey, Denali. Guess what? Look at that. You can see the player right behind me, but there is a gentleman who is so tall that I have to look up to. His name is Michael Anderson, and he's a director from the ITTF, International Table Tennis Federation. Am I right, Michael?
That's absolutely correct, and I can bend down a little bit if you need me to do that, but I'm happy to be here in New Jersey.
Well, is this the first time for you to be here?
I travel frequently around the world, and I've been to other places in the United States to look at table tennis. Now, this is my first time here, yes.
Okay, well, in this case, I would like to know, well, maybe the viewers would like to know what is your organization is all about. Maybe you can give us a little bit brief introductory about that.
The ITTF is actually the second largest international sporting association in the world. I think we're behind badminton. We have 215 member countries, and we facilitate the sport of table tennis for Olympic Games. We organize world championships, but we also do a lot of development. We also do a lot of teaching and training and trying to promote the sport in all corners of the world. And obviously, the United States is an interesting market for us.
Basically, we are only promoting for ping pong, right?
We're only table tennis from 24 hours a day, actually, and we do, as I say, a lot of development. We're eager to see young, talented players develop. We're looking for the talents of the future, if you call it like that. And of course, the sport of table tennis is dominated by one country, as we know.
China.
China, yes.
So far, right? Still number one.
Absolutely number one, and they should be. They are the best. They have the best coaches. They have the best system and so on. But as an international federation, we are very eager to see young players from all over the world being able to compete on the highest level.
Well, maybe you can give us a little bit stories about some of the champions, or maybe you have been around so long that you know some of the championships or games that could make you, you think that it stands out. You can give us a story about that.
Well, you only have to look at the recent level of play that the Chinese men's and women's team has put on in the World Championships in Rotterdam in May. Sangjik, Malong, the new players, they have really brought the sport of table tennis to a higher level. If I go back to my time when I was coaching and playing, of course we had a lot of good Swedish players also. That's maybe why I'm in this position. But Europe is struggling a little bit for the moment, but maybe the players from the future will be from the United States, who knows?
So you have been around being a coach for such a long time for ping pong?
I started to coach when I was 23 years old on full time, and my background is basically coaching. I coached on international level for almost 15 years, and then now becoming more of an administration person that do a lot of courses and travel around the world.
Well, speaking about the courses, that's probably one of the reasons you are here today in New Jersey. So tell us about the courses that you have in your federation, and also what tonight's course is going to be. Well,
tonight's going to be just a clinic, we call it like that, but it's a courtesy visit to this center because they are affiliated to the ITTF in our newest program that's called ITTF Hotspots, which means that we are affiliating ourselves with a number of training centers around the world. This is actually one of 18 centers that we are recognizing. So Lily has done a good job. Lily Ip has done a good job here. We recognize that. We see that this is a place where good things are happening. There are some young players coming through, and we want to be part of that. We want to support that a little bit, and that's why I'm here.
So the talent search starts right here.
Starts right here, and it starts very early. I mean, we're now looking at international programs for players between 11 and 12 years old. We're introducing many things in regard to coaching and teaching coaches that have young talented players. So it's a good time for young players to get involved in table tennis. It's a popular sport. It's growing in popularity, and I think still the U.S. system is difficult, but this is a good start. It's a fantastic facility. It's nice to be here. There's a lot of young kids playing around, and that's how it should be.
Well, you have a very, very unique accent. Is that you came from, you said, Swedish?
That's a Swedish accent, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why you came here a very long time?
I've been in North America. I'm based out of Ottawa, Canada, where we have the ITTF President's Office. So this is not too far for me. So more or less a day's drive down there. But that's also nice to do that sometimes.
So do you think they are going to send you to the Europe to coach or teach?
Well, we do have activities all over the globe. So we travel. We have courses in China. We have courses in Asia, we have courses in Australia, Africa, Latin America, North America, obviously. So,
have you ever been to China?
I've been there several times, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to talk to you about China next time around. But today, tell me, what is your immediate planning for this, the sports this year? Any other new programs or training coming up?
I think we're excited about the training center program, and this is now why I'm here to talk a little bit with the center management for this center to see how we can get involved there. Is it by coaching? Is it by organizing training camps, maybe with international participation? Is it tournaments for young players and stuff like that? And that's important because activity nowadays needs to have an international flavor also, and this is a nice place. It's an attractive place to come and play, and I hope that we can be participating in different activities in the future here.
Well, I'm glad on behalf of Lily Yip. I think they are very happy to have you today, and thank you for speaking to us as well. We're going to continue to listen to your teaching tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
We have a special guest here. His name is Mr. Michael Anderson. He is from ITTF, and he will basically give us some information about ITTF and table tennis. Mr. Anderson.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have a good sound, or do I need to use this one?
Up to you. And you want me to turn it off?
Okay. Yes, I will have to use some players here also for introduction, but my name is Michael Anderson. I work for the International Federation of Table Tennis, which is a global federation, obviously, like any other sport. We have to have an organization all around the globe. ITTF is one of the largest sporting federations in the world. I think if you compare the number of member countries that we have, you will find that badminton is higher, more than us. But we are the second largest. That means that table tennis is played all around the world in 215 member countries, which is a lot. And we facilitate the 250 member countries the best we can. Obviously, with being a staff of around 20 to 25 staff working all over the globe, we do have some limitations, but all our activities are open for national associations. And we work in the US and obviously through the USTTA, who is our member. And we filter that down to then a number of activities that are touching players at young age, at junior age. We're very active with the junior program all around the world. And of course we facilitate the higher level of professional play. We facilitate the Pro Tour, we facilitate World Championships, World Junior Championships, and we do get involved on the Olympic Games level, where we also organize basically from the IOC. Our funding basically comes from 50% from marketing revenues. We pull in around $4 to $5 million a year in sponsorships. And the rest is coming from the Olympic movement. So all our activities are geared normally in a 4-year cycles towards the Olympic Games. My job with ITTF is a fancy title. It's called ITTF Executive Director for Education and Training. Now what do? I work a lot with education of young players, of coaches. We're organizing events for very, very young players, and we try to bring in their coaches in the same token. I also work with education of maybe other official parts of the ITTF, or we need to facilitate competition, or we need to improve this and that, so they call for me. I'm also responsible for something called an international training center structure, which is something we actually start. It's called ITTF Hotspots. And we use the name hotspot because we believe that it represents something where good things happen. It could be kids playing, kids enjoying coming here every day to play, and they want to be part of something. The idea with the ITTF hotspots is that ITTF ideals and visions of developmental table tennis will filter down to you, to a center like this. You will feel that it's a part of something pretty big, because table tennis outside the United States is obviously a huge in some countries. In the United States or North America, okay, it's a good recreational participation sport. The competitive level needs to be improved. And young players like the girls we're going to see here tonight also need to improve. They also need to affiliate themselves and learn how to be competitive, learn how to represent their country, if they're selected for national team, and perform well. That's also an important part. And it will in the future affect a lot if there are good players coming. I make a comparison to golf sometimes and say, okay, maybe I see in the United States the next Tiger Woods of table tennis, or I see Michelle Wie of table tennis. Okay, that can easily happen, and with a support structure that like ITTF can introduce, then you can have a superstar in no time. The talent level is extremely high in the United States. There's no question that if we take 11 or 12-year-old girls out to play competition in international event, they are great. They are extremely good and skilled for their age. There are trouble coming later when you have to keep the competitive level going, and you have to train a lot, you have to compete a lot international. There are some mishaps happening, and maybe as Barry said, when they're 16 or 17, they're no good anymore on the highest level. But I think we can change that, and that's why we're also present now in a number of training centers in the United States. We are there to look at the young players. We're there to say, okay, is there a financial issue? Well, maybe for our international federation it would be a good investment. If there's a US-born players that are becoming really competitive and they can bring the sport to another level. So we can do many things. And we're here to do something tonight as well, so just to make a few things. And I asked Lily for some players and like that, and I said, okay, I'll give you my coaching philosophy. It doesn't mean that my coaching philosophy from learning and working with the international level of players that I had the opportunity to do in Sweden, where I was working with players like Jürgen Persson or those players. I was in Denmark for many years as a national coach, where I brought in a young 12-year-old left-hander called Michael Mays. He's one of the top players in the world now, and I had the opportunity to be with him for a few years. Doesn't mean that my coaching philosophy is better than Barry's or Lily's. My coaching philosophy is something that I believe in, and every coach has to have a coaching philosophy. You have to have an idea on how would you bring your players from level C to B and to A and to top level. And this is important. So the thinking is that, okay, I'll bring something to the table where they can teach, they can learn, they can improve their skill set, they can improve mentally, physically, technically and tactically. So that's my 4 keywords always. So I always use those keywords. I think that mentally strong. Table tennis takes a lot out your mental strength because it's a sport for repetition. You have to come there to train a lot, and to become international competitive, you have to train a lot. It's a lot to repeat, and there's a lot of technical details that need to be fixed. Your technique has to develop all the time. And that covers a lot of things. You know, service technique, your backhand forehand, your block, your counter-attack back, your topspin, your drives. Anything that relates to technique is a dynamic progression in table tennis. Now, for example, the best Chinese players now came to, I don't know if you look at the internet or anything like that, they now suddenly go over the table and they backhand topspin on short service. Didn't exist. If someone said, if I would say on my time only. Well, I have to work on my style. I have to style from young players where I get brought up and taught to play. I need to add a skill set where I believe that this would make me now successful. Because table tennis is about competition. The most fun part here is to play matches, obviously. We don't, any kind of. We need to like to play matches because table tennis is about a little bit of a game like chess. You're going to play competition, you're going to play league matches here tonight, you're going to meet the other player, you're going to have some fun with that and so on. Yeah. I always try to divide, and I think that a young player needs to have a strong plus and minus thing. What I mean by plus and minus, I mean that this actually is your strong sides. Okay? Your plus is your strong side, your minus is your weak side. I say an awareness of plus and minus has to be present always. Present in training, have to be present in matches. Because in the end, if I'm very, very good at this, okay, I'm very, very good on my own plus and minus. I'm writing them down, I'm putting a paper here when I go to practice. The coach said this, these are my strong side, these are my weak side. I'm constantly working with my strong side, my weak sides, and I have this here. What happens when I go to a match and play? How would I prepare for a match? I don't know the player very much, but how would I prepare? I would go to my plus and minus, because I would go to my sheet and I say, this is my preparation. Of course, I will now have to implement my plus side as much as possible. Now we go to an exercise where just regular, which normally on this level of play wouldn't be a problem at all. And you should be able to keep the ball in play many times. And now we went to an unregular exercise with 1 or 2 in each corner. And right now we have more of a match-like style of exercise. Only by adding the option. Because here will be a lot more adjustments. But visually, of course, ball 1 and 2. Footwork-wise, you have to be much sharper to be able to get that 1 and 2. And you also see your technique develop a little bit. Because what you want players like this to be also learn is that you need to play the ball out of position sometimes. You look at the last backhand are a little bit late, but you got it on table. So you got to be able to adjust here. Only by 1 and 2, you're also forcing your racket not to be, you know, predetermined. If I play 1 backhand, I go in a racket here. 1 or 2 means that you match like you have to keep your racket more central. So it means that backhand, center, it might come here again, it might come there. So it forces your technique to be more match specific. And this is a very simple exercise that anybody can try here after, you know, like you get a feeling for when you play an exercise, but here it makes her here now adjust to more match-like. So practice, to me, has to be match-specific as much as possible. So what happens in match, affecting my technique and so on? Yes, there's a base time you spend on your forehand, your backhand and all that, but when you put it together, you have to make it simple, and you have to make it good for your technical development. So I always like this one because it makes you flexible and you have to adjust back and forth. So great job and good footwork. She was moving all the time, which today is, you know, such a key in terms of having the balance front of your body to be able to keep the ball in front. A lot of all the guys, we have problem because we will let the ball drop. So as soon as today top players they let the ball drop to this particular area here, you're in trouble right away because you lose time and you lose that millimeter of a second. And you get off balance, and you're keeping your ball, you gotta save it like a goalkeeper or whatever. You know, really to have what she shows here, good balance in the body, really pushing forward, a lot of activities, no heels in the ground, those kind of things, all the time moving, dynamic and nice. So we try 1 or 2 on this side also, you know, 1 or 2 here, 1 or 2 here, okay? Okay, how do we do this? How would we try to improve the quality? Now, just in an exercise like this, quality, you know, really needs to go up. So what would we ask from her, for example? She's attacking now. I would ask for more or less maximum variation. I would like to see her be able to read this ball better. So sometimes you play more speed, sometimes a little bit tougher, depending on what kind of speed she is giving back. To really try to, not by force, but to score a few points and make it more difficult for the blocking side. So you can now play with a little bit variation. Look at the ball, see where it comes, and then you attack maybe a little bit harder on some balls. But and you have to be sharp now. You're blocking the side, you work like this and so on. Okay? Go ahead again. That's good. Good. I think you had a little bit of a higher ball there. Just try to, if you have the ball that comes up a little bit, you really give it whatever you have. I mean, from New York City until there, you know, blast through. Really competitive. I think. Good. I like that. I like get kicked in the forearm there. So really, and that will give it, what does it mean on this side? Tougher for her blocking, because she needs to be, okay, she wants to keep the ball on the table, she don't want to miss, because, so she needs to start, you know, okay, adjustment, racket, body, footwork, and so on. And now activate also, okay, if you get a bit of a weaker backhand from her, you kick it back a little bit, and you create something with the ball. You don't have to be just it's not a wall. It's not like I saw a robot over there. This is not the same. You're playing, you're practicing, but you're practicing now in this exercise, you're practicing your block. So you need to push back and maybe sometimes kick in the ball a little bit, or give it a little bit back, and so on. Okay. Same exercise, keep going. Oh, now we're getting really good stuff. Excellent. Very good. And what happens here is now she's forcing a little bit. So, but that's also because we want this, whatever we give her, them here. I say normally, I would say 10 minutes on each side. We want 10 minutes to be today maximum, tomorrow even better. And then what's the next day after what day it is, even better. We want to push the level up. And the danger with play like this is that you establish a level. These girls are good, they're talented, they also have to be pushed. So today you jump 120 in high jump. Tomorrow you try for 125, you go to 130 and you keep going. And it's only by really adding those kind of elements that make it happen. So, very good. We will now play like this. So we play one backhand, one or two blocks middle, and then one ball here. And then we go back to backhand here. Okay? And you start working. So you one backhand, one or two blocks here, and then one forehand here, and back to backhand. Okay? That's it, very good. Okay? And the same thing here. Don't be shy with your forehand work. You're going to be a little bit, you kick back, you follow the ball a little bit, and you move around. Good. Excellent stuff. And I like that ball that came in. I like that ball that came into the middle, and then came up a little bit here. So if those balls come into play, you just always you finish, or you make sure that she knows that okay, this was not good quality. You play the ball back and you win the point. So you gotta, even though it's training, and you gotta compete a little bit. You know, compete with your skills, not with your winning parts. She is only one thing, and I would say here that the right leg is, very good. One thing that I would try to work on is this particular situation I don't like too much, okay? Because I would prefer more a forehand position, but still because, let's say I take my forehand in the middle that you don't here, you take shorter time. This to me is then there and then there. To me it's here, because otherwise the adjustment is this is, to me, it's quicker. Although it's a small detail, it's something that, you know, I don't mind think forward when already from your first position. So here's my racket. I'm not more front than this at least, so I'm quicker here. And I only basically have to move my footwork. I can go in and I work this one instead of moving my technique over and then pushing forward. So,
Michael?
Yes, sir.
Now the return to serve, especially to the short forehand, everybody's moving over, doing a banana backhand.
Yeah.
So what should be the correct back position if you want to try to return that way?
Yeah, the banana, I'm not a great banana fan anymore. I saw the Chinese now, they have quit the banana. They quit the banana completely, they just top spin backhand now. So I think that shot, I know a lot of Europeans are doing it and they go in and they turn it over like this. Yeah, it's a tough one. I think that my thinking would be to simplify. If I do that, and the guy serving me there, I see all of these guys, they almost immediately, they walk over here and they do like this. But I think fundamentally, to me, let's say that at least the record has been quite in front, so we kind of make that adjustment. Good point. Okay. That was on borderline a little bit. Really, I thought almost, but okay, I give it that one too. But next time, watch out for the length. Good thinking. That one I liked. Adjustment. Okay, good. But what's this cross-court thinking? There's no reason for that ball in a free exercise to go cross-court. It has to be middle. So you're going to force yourself. You had the ball up, now it's the game on. So you had a free shot from that ball, you played it cross. And she almost played it back, so dangerous. If you play that to the middle, it's a short one. So. Good. And work around with your service. The players in practice tend to serve the same way all the time. You're gonna move it around, even if it's short service. Really push it. That's it. Good match point. And then what I like. That's exactly the way you have to punish a weaker service. Here, I would work a lot on my service and really try to relax the wrists a little bit and really leave it. Good. Stop. Good wrists. Well done again. Again with almost cross court, but that's okay. You know, maybe that's because comfort, you think. But always, split the table on the free, you go down the line, or you force yourself. But sometimes it can be good if the players are stuck in certain patterns of attacking, to say to her that, okay, now go through this exercise, and I start with three options. That one was the first one, well now 2 options left. So next time I have to go middle or backhand. Third time she will know. So we split the table up by three like this. So we go ahead. So the first attack. Good return. Very good backhand. And good return again. Pretty good quality. I mean, she used the middle now, suddenly deep one, and so on. So that's the way also the quality improvement. For her, it's more difficult to get the ball in different positions and so on. And now, any questions? Comments? Yeah, I think on the short, so I mean, to me it's about you can create any drills or exercises like this. My worry sometimes with young players is that okay, let's say the coach will tell me now short service, well I put short in forehand, you put short back in the middle, I cut the ball long to your backhand toss big cross, the next one is in the other corner. So it's a question of not constructing exercises too much. In this age, I think that they have to have some options. Okay, I think that to get a good practice for them, first thing, they're skilled, very skilled. So it's not an issue. They can do anything you tell them to do. Basically, you ask for this or that. But I wouldn't construct too much. You know, I wouldn't draw up the building and build this and this and that. I would give them some simple options. They need to think, you know, whether the first service is short or long, and they need to do something with that. They need to be able to, you know, in this case, put short back in the middle or really work the corners. I think that's a pretty fair strategy. So they have that option when they go in to really work on short back or long back. And that is enough on this stage. So you're right, the tempo in the short return is something that really needs to develop now, and as the backhand, you know, attack over table, those kind of things need to be, you know, constantly developed and added to the games. So I would focus on in this age, I would focus on few things, have some options in training, come back to that, build on that, and develop from there. So let us finish now with one game to 11, and we will play for. Where is there anything we can put on the table? You know, in this age.
Soda? You want soda? Soda?
Well, that didn't do it. We have to come to something better. I mean, soda, no reaction. Normally, what you say to me is on Saturdays, you had some dollars on the table in the club. $1?
You want $5?
What about the free private lesson? Is that going to be worked out?
Free private lesson? Yeah. You want a free private lesson? Bill it for me. Oh. How about this? 1 hour shopping for me.
Is that was no more than negative than so then we have to will be friendship. Okay, we play Verona. It's I'll find some like the depth stuff.
Okay.
From 0 to 11. Okay, that's it. One game, and we will wrap it up like that, and then take a few questions, and that's it. Okay, thank you. But we can also go in and give some instructors points. So if you see something that we really like, we will add 1 point. And if you see something we don't like, we will remove 1. So it's 2-0. Anything can happen in this game. One, two. And that's 2-2, but it is 3-2. Because this was a really a long serve, and it was here. So, and you cut it back, which is almost a deadly sin. So, it's okay. I'll give her 1. 2-3. Good serve. 3-3. Well, we can add 1 now. I thought it was really good because I didn't see that one before, so it's 4-4. And it's 7-5. You get 1 from that service also. And it's 7-6 and it's 7-7 because I really liked that backhand topspin there. I thought it was good. It was also down the line here, which was really one of the strongest shots so far in this match. 7-7. Good 8-7. Quick backhand. Service. But not as good as the one before, so you don't get a point for that one. 7-9. And what I liked there was the direction. I like the placement on that service. I mean, she really got this side, so it's 9-9. I could have been matched now, but well, it's okay, because both played well there. So it's 10-9, it's fair enough. Match point. That's it. Yeah.
Girls, Lily.
Well,
Lily, go.
I would like to thank these 2 girls.
Well, Lily, I have to say, this is a great teaching lesson. Even me learned a lot today from the techniques, right? And how you do the, what you call it, he has technical part, he has techniques and the mentality, physical. Even these 2 little girls have been doing very well, but they have improved just for that little lesson. How do you think?
I think the same thing. And the Swedish style, I mean, now the best from Chinese and Sweden is the best in the world. So they got to have something we can learn too.
Right, we can learn from each other, right?
Yeah, we learn from each other. So I think that's a great lesson. Everybody enjoy it. I enjoy it too.
Right, but the point that he's making is right on the money.
Yes.
And he can tell where the problem, where they need to be adjusted.
Yeah, he's very experienced coach, international coach, one of the best in the world, and I'm very appreciative he's coming.
Wow, how did you get him over here?
I don't know. Just by accident, right? He come to visit, and then our center is a ITTF spot. I think he just also want to come to check out the space. check out our facility.
Kind of like an inspection here, but
Maybe.
Right. But
I better treat him better.
Right. He did say they come around touring all the facility that they think that they can find talents here, and I think he probably found some talents right in New Jersey, right here.
Yeah, these two girls were the best in the New Jersey.
Right,
I hope
right.
they can both can go to the ITTF program in the future, and more support from the ITTF. Yeah.
Well, if they do, you must be very proud.
Of course, I'm very proud of them and very proud for their parents and very proud of our facility.
Do you train them personally?
Yes, I coach a few years. They both more than 3 years.
Wow, no wonder. All right, Lily, I'm glad I'm here too. Well,
thank
let's congratulate Lily to have
you.
such an opportunity for all of us.
Thank you.
So anybody who is interested in ping pong, please join us here at Lily's Table Tennis Center right here in Denali, New Jersey.
Thank you.
And the number is 732.
200-5820. Thank you.
That's it. Wow, she remembers that just very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.